we had an unexpected visit from Karl, who is author of the book Welcome to the Light. He said it was okay to record our conversation. Hope you enjoy this.
Explain the difference between iniquity and sin.
No, not really. I don't think.
Do you know what it is? It's in this book. Do you know what it is? The difference. Now wait, let me catch my thought. It's running away from me again. I lost it.
What is iniquity?
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Iniquity. Here's the problem. The people are in the church. God talks to them when they go to the altar. They get on their knees and their elbows and they pray through, right? All these people in the church come down and pray him through.
Mm-hmm.
All right. His elbows get sore. His knees are getting to hurt. So he stands up. The preacher comes running over to him, throws his arm around his shoulder and says, "You will sin no more. Welcome to our church." Now, here's the mistake they made. When he was on his knees, he wasn't getting Jesus in him, because God says two people, the devil and Jesus can't be in there at the same time. It's got to be clean for Jesus to go in there.
Right. Yeah.
So what he is doing is he opened the door. And then these guys come over and said he can't sin anymore. Before you can accept him, you have to admit to yourself. You got to ask him, and then believe it.
Uh-huh.
It just don't happen like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people, you don't even feel it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, everything is going good. Now, iniquity is these people think they're saved. That's terrible, because they could sin no more. They can do anything they want.
I see.
Now, iniquity is on the other foot.
Yeah.
When he comes into your heart, you don't sin no more. Iniquity is doing the bad things you think about doing and do them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
He tells you the difference, but you can't. Ma'am, I got CDs. I got this on CDs.
Oh.
But right now, my friend is making them again. I just run out of them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
The iniquity is thinking something wrong and doing it even though you know it's wrong. That's iniquity.
I see. I didn't know the difference really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But most people don't even know they ain't Christians. They think, well, I'm saved. My first wife went to California after 32 years and lived with her 34-year-old brother for 15 years as man and wife.
Really?
So, yeah, that puts a strain on you.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, after he got me over that, and he did, then everything was all right. Seems to be.
Yeah.
Huh.
But he's looking for a fight right now, and he's going to get it.
Yeah.
He's in it. He's the one that's doing it. This book is going to challenge all the Catholics, all the Mormons. Everybody that says they're a Christian is going to be challenged by it, because it's not, believe it or not, you guys ain't Christians. You're believers. Big difference.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess it depends how you're defining the words.
It's true. It's like
Yeah.
saying you're a Christian is like saying that I love my wife and then going to a house of Bill Repute for the last week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's one
I
way.
gotcha.
Yeah.
But a believer,
That's,
he can't get away from it because it's in him.
yeah.
So, the book that you referred to just a minute ago, is that another one or the one I just ordered?
It's that.
Oh, okay.
I got another book, but it's about a raven.
A raven?
They're wanting to make a movie out of it, but I can't afford the $20,000 to have a stage play made out of it.
So where's that book? Is it published?
Oh, yeah, both of them are.
Oh, so I could get that on Amazon too.
Yeah, it's called Waiting on Grandpa.
Oh, Okay.
Waiting on Grandpa.
It's just, I made notes. And when I sent them into the publisher, he said, "How do you want me to frame this?" I said, "Put it down just like it is." So it's a journal.
Really?
Yeah.
That's more interesting anyhow. Journals, I think, are more interesting than just a...
Yeah, because you feel like you're living it.
Yeah. Huh. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I want to tell you a poem called "The Given Light."
Okay, I'm going to get a little closer to make sure we get this.
All right. The light that shines through heaven's door is pure in every way. It's not confused by reason or the things some people say. To stand in light so pure and bright is everybody's dreams, but all that stop to think of me just don't know what it means. To give it all is just a part of giving, don't you see? For Jesus gave until he died. He did not think of me. With grace from God and all that's true, we'll have a great tomorrow. But those that stop to think of me will find they have much sorrow. As you sow, so shall you reap. It's God's most given right. Just trust in him and try your best. You'll see his precious light. To help the poor and those that need will bring you much and more, 'cause helping will ensure a place inside of heaven's door.
Mm.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah.
I love you.
So how when you did this stuff just come into your mind as you were?
No.
You had to develop it.
I was selling insurance when I just got married. I was selling insurance, and I went to the farmer's house, and they invited me to dinner, so I went to dinner. And they was very, very upgraded believers,
Mm.
and they was going to honor me, let me pray. And I had to tell them, I said, "I'm sorry, I don't know how, but me and him's not on speaking terms right now." Well, ever since then, I've been looking for him. I chased him all over this world.
Mm.
But what helped me back was I was dragging him with me.
Sure. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Hey, I love to tell these poems, and
Oh,
I didn't even have to memorize them.
really?
They just come. Yeah.
Well, that's neat.
There's one thing that this world is going to get a shock. I'm having trouble with my memory.
Oh yeah.
That's
Short
okay.
term, just my short term.
That's okay.
Uh, oh, I remember
shock.
what it
The
was.
shock.
Yes. I don't remember the whole poem. It's not very long, but it's one of the things that's going to cause a war, and that religious war, and that is. Wait a minute. I can't do that. I can't go over the hump. And I will not buy Predigen. That's the brain food. I can't.
Oh, Prevacin, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do any of that kind of stuff because he don't want me to do it. I won't do it.
Well, there's no guarantees anyhow.
Well, it's not really the guarantees. I want his thoughts in there. I don't want it to come. Look at this. See that bald head? It's been that way since I was 30 years old, but they come out with this hair growing stuff, and boy, I got all excited. I was going to go rub that on my head until I found out what the name of it was.
Uh-oh.
The Helsinki formula.
Oh.
Oh.
You're gonna sink
Well,
into hell.
You're right in style now. All the young people are shaving their heads.
Yes, and now you can grow hair on a rock.
Yeah.
Are you
That's
kidding?
right,
Yeah, but what's it doing to your body?
Well, I've been smoking for 75 years.
Wow. You
And
still
I've been
smoke?
pretty loyal to it, really. But doctors told me the last time I was there, he said, you got a choice. You feel good, you're going to die. I said, good. He said, no, this ain't going to be good. He says, I did it again.
Feeling good and you're going to die and
The
you're
doctor-
smoking and...
Yeah, well, I had to quit.
Oh, you did?
I quit the 17th of last month. I got a patch on.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't let any tobacco. It's been a month, and I'm doing real good. I forgot to put the patch on one day, and I found myself out looking in the driveway for cigarette butts.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to the store. I put a patch on, and I went to the store and I bought me a little pouch of tobacco, bugler.
Yeah.
And you get a little pack about this long, big around about that long, and out for $5.
Oh,
Really?
man. Yeah.
Well, one thing led to another, so I'm doing pretty good, really.
Well, that's
But-
good.
I really wanted a cigarette. I went in and put a patch on. Boy, them things work.
They do. Do
Yeah,
they?
30 minutes later, I was in great shape.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What about the habit of the action of smoking and everything?
Well, it's almost as common to me as breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you replacing that so you don't miss that too much?
If I tell you good thoughts, it's hard to believe, but it's true.
Really?
If I get in a bind, I wasn't kidding. I'm down there on the end in 71, and it's nobody grinds cigarettes out anymore. Nobody throws cigarette butts. I'm out in the driveway, looking in the gravel driveway for cigarette butts. It's all up here,
Yeah.
and I had to do something, so it works this way.
Well, that's good.
That's cool.
Yeah. That was, I smoked when I was younger too, and I actually I went to school to become a photographer, and you couldn't smoke in the dark rooms, and they gave me the job of being the guy that mixes all the chemistry and stuff. So I was stuck in there 12 hours a day, and so I quit. So I know what you mean. It's not easy to do.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, okay.
This one is called The Reply. There once was a boy that wanted to see the world by and large from the top of a tree. So he climbed all the way to the limbs that were small. He couldn't climb higher for fear of a fall. Father, he asked as he started back down, know a way here on earth to make those limbs sound? Son, he replied with a tear in his eye, if you push God too far, you surely will die. The top, as you know, is made of limbs smaller to balance the rest so it can grow taller. Created for man, both the old and the young, these trees are a blessing, a song to be sung. For a man to view the sight from above, he must give of his all, and his all must be love. The people who try to climb to the top just find on their way there's no place to stop. The top, it stays limber and bends to the ground. The bottom is up and the up part is down. The view from the top, it's not worth it, you see. It's all upside down and it's all misery. The higher a man can climb in his eyes is his sight from down under the moment he dies. So stay on the ground and view trees with care. When we go with Jesus, we'll see from up there.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And I had a slippage I wanted to tell you. I got a poem that's short, and I don't remember it. But the punchline of it is, for God condemned whole tribes for sin. Did monkeys really come from men?
Yeah.
There's going to be a war, I'm telling you, and I'm starting it, or he's starting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I talked to him. I used to, when my wife was up and I could walk around in the yard, I went out in the driveway one day and he was mad. He was really ticked off. And I asked him, I said, what's the problem? And he said, they went too far now. He says, I'm going to have to correct them. I said, what you going to do? And he said, I'm going to go down and I'm going to teach them about me. I said, how long is this going to last? And he says, until they recognize me as their God. I said, okay. That's real troublesome.
Mm. Yeah.
I was thinking about that predator stuff, but I don't. I can't do it.
I'd say your memory's great. I mean, there's no way I could be reciting the things that you're reciting. You don't sell yourself short. You got a great memory.
That's just, well, see, no.
We all have our little lapses.
It's my present, my memory. So I can be talking and all of a sudden I don't.
Yeah. What was I saying?
I know. Oh, yeah.
I know.
Well, when you don't even have enough thought left to wonder what you was saying.
Yeah. Well, so, you know, that you could be a politician then.
Let's not go there.
There's a few things that this world is not ready for. He's gonna. I asked him how many people that's gonna die. He said usually about 50%.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of time frames do you think?
So just a minute. I asked him. I said, I'm not seeing a picture. If I see a picture, I can describe.
So you were talking about 50% dying.
Oh yeah. So I asked him. I said, please, can you help me with this? Is there any way that you'll put this off? And he says, oh no, it's set. I said, please, there's believers out there in this world that need the time to mature enough to realize they are believers. Please, is there any way that you can put this off a little? And he said, sounds to me like you want to be Santa Claus. I said, no, please, is there any? He said, his answer was, we'll see what we will see. At that time, I was on a computer a lot. And I had a big one. And I said, so,
you wanted to put it off, and so he.
About 3 days later, I was on the porch. I spent a lot of time smoking. I didn't smoke in my wife's house. And when he says, out of the clear blue, he said, well, aren't you going to look? What? And then it hit me. On the TV, I was watching at that time, they had a Google Earth.
Oh.
It was 22,500 miles out, and you could see the whole world.
Sure.
I asked my wife, I said, can I change it a little? She said, go ahead. So I went over to that channel, and the whole earth was Santa Claus on a sleigh. There's a great big picture. That's why they took it off the air, because you could see the pictures. And the pictures, that's how God and his son converse. Only they aren't just pictures. The pictures move. I used to draw drawings. You hold it. Now, the last one I drew it, I had to throw it away. I burned them all. Because if you held it this way, It was a knight's helmet with another knight's helmet inside of it. It was real pretty. And it had a great big red feather in its top. I said, okay, that's one. You turn it sideways, it's a rabbit.
Really?
There's a great big rabbit. Using every line, there was different animals and they was always right side up. Never changed. It was so unbelievable, it was ridiculous.
Wow.
So, and then if you turned it another way, let me see. The fourth way I turned it, it was a three-headed serpent.
Really?
And it used every line, and there was little animals all through it.
Wow.
So right away I knew what I had to do.
Hmm.
But I had given one to my little brother, and he's bigger than me.
Hmm.
So I went over to get it. He said, what are you going to do with it? He said, Karl, I'm proud of that. I want it. I said, no, I got to have it. So I finally got it away from him, took it home and got them all. I think there's 32 or 33 of them. And I lit them up. I burned them all.
You did?
I had to.
Hmm.
300 serpent? I'm talking to a man that's petting snakes? No.
Hmm.
No. And
Wow.
not too long after that, I started writing poems.
Oh.
Wow.
Hmm. That's amazing.
Well, I don't talk about me much to anybody. In fact, I don't talk to anybody. I'm home. I just love it at home.
Yeah.
My wife was, she's a grouchy old lady. And she called me a persnickety old man. And we just had a blast hollering at each other.
Oh, I bet you miss her.
You could say that. You surely could.
Hmm.
But it's,
Well, the person just has to take the position they're in, and thank God that you've been taught enough, you've learned enough in your lifetime to be able to point your direction the right way, at least, you know.
he asked me, that's the way he starts conversations sometimes. He'll say, what are you worried about? He said, why aren't you happy? I want you happy. I said, I'm happy. He said, no, you're not. You're worried. And we finally decided what I was worried about. He asked me, he said, what are you worried about? I said, well, that was the problem. I didn't have anything to worry about. And it worried me. It is true. I mean, when you're sitting there biting your gums and you ain't even got any teeth, that's really bad. But the bad thing is, I could sit down, you buy me a steak, and I have mine done before you do. And mine's just as chewed up as yours is. I got these, where my wisdom teeth was, they're like striker plates. You don't cut it, but it mashes it down so fine.
Really?
No problems.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. If I should, I wouldn't stick my finger in my mouth.
Well, see, we got a dog for that kind of stuff. Well, thank you very much for letting me record this. I'm really looking forward
as soon as I
to
get some films, some CDs.
Yeah, I'd like to see them.
We'll see. I'm kind of an oddball. I don't think belief in God should cost anything.
Yeah, well.
It shouldn't even be involved with money.
No.
So I've never made a dime off of this book, and I have no intentions of ever making a dime off of it. But when I give away a CD, because it is very controversial, I give 2 instead of 1. Because you can hear it and be impressed by it, and call your girlfriend on the phone and try to describe it to her. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So what you do is you just hand her the CD.
Oh.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
I love him. I think he's fantastic. But much to my surprise, this thought came flashing through my mind. It's right before your eyes. The key is where you left it. Just remember, if you can, the person that you loaned it to, but not a helping hand. Remember the girl on crutches or the dirty old man in the park? The one with little enough to eat? The one with the broken heart? You might ask the man that had it as you helped him on the road by showing him a shorter path, but carried not his load. The key was offered many times in trials of the past. The place you have to find it is the place you left at last. Truth, love, and charity will bring you home to me. But first, you must repent your sin, for Jesus is the key. So listen very closely to the story that I tell. Without the key of life, my friend, your destination's hell.
Wow, that's cool.
That's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, but that's like hitting something with a sledgehammer.
Wow.
That sure as heck is. Yeah.
And that's a book of them.
Wow.
Wow.
And let me tell you, it's not to make people feel good, it's to wake them up.
Yeah.
Right.
I used to worry. The first time, I asked him one time, see, I'm talking to him just like I'm talking to you.
Right.
And he answered me. And he does it through his son. And I asked him, you know, Lord, I'd really give you tribute if I could just knew how to pray. In this world, I have never had anybody tell me the basics and on how to pray or what. I just talked. So he said, can you give me the definition of it? Do you know what the definition of prayer is? And I said, well, I think talking to God.
That's what I would say.
And he said, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I almost got turned off of him when I first met him. When he come into my heart, he come right into my and started talking. Right, I was walking down a driveway. My first wife and I was running this motel. Walking down the driveway, and I know it's bad, but this is truth. He said, "Hey, MFer, you listening to me?" And I said, "No, sir. You're from the negative side. You won't be talking to me like that." And he said, "I have to talk to you in words and thoughts you use each and every day. Do you use these words?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Expect them from me."
Wow.
Cool.
Well, he definitely got your attention, didn't he?
Oh, one of my ventures. And I was talking to a guy that had never had a Bible open.
Really?
He was like 25 years old. He never had a Bible open before. Now, he'd heard about it, and he wouldn't even want to talk about it. So I was talking to him, and I had it closed across my lap. And he says, and I was telling him the story of Joseph and the cloak.
Yep.
And I was telling him, and he was liking that, you know. And I said, well, he said, "Where'd you hear that?" I said, "It's right here." And I flipped the Bible open and put my finger down, and it was right where I was at in the conversation.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
sir. It just,
Wow.
you got to believe it. You got to.
Yeah.
A doubt is a slap in Jesus' face.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to slap him too much because his dad gets pissed over.
It was a great visit with Karl. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll put a link in the description where you can order his book if you're interested. Watch for other impromptu interviews.